そうですね、
I'm very looking forward to it, and then it's been a while, since the last time I pitched there, and then I got family over there, because I'm trying to live up to a highest expectation.
僕と鈴木選手が
I'm really excited for everybody to experience the country that Seiya and I grew up in, and when everybody comes back to the U.S., just reflecting on how great of an experience it was for everyone, how much they enjoyed it. If everybody enjoys it, I'll really be happy.
Tokyo Series is coming. We are less than a week away. March 18th and 19th, live coverage on Fox and on FS1. The Cubs and the Dodgers can't wait to get the season kicked off. Going to be a long trip, but everybody's looking forward to it. Harold will be there. And we thought we would focus in on the Cubs in this segment of the program because so much of the attention on the Tokyo Series has gone to the Dodgers.
Oh, yeah.
Have you noticed that? I mean, the Cubs are good, too.
Yeah,
and Ron
they
Coomer
are.
joins us to talk about his Cubs. And the Coom Dog, of course, an all-star as a player and has spent the last 10-plus years in the Cubs radio booth with Pat Hughes. Coom Dog, good morning. Good to see you, man.
Good morning, Matty. Harold, how you boys doing?
We're great. We're great.
Good.
It's about time we got you on this program, by the way.
That's Harold. I understand. He infielders. I thought I'd have been on years ago, but that's okay. We'll let that.
Good to have you back, man. Hey, we talk about the Cubs a lot this offseason because they've had a really interesting offseason, saying goodbye to guys like Cody Bellinger, saying hello to guys like Kyle Tucker. It feels like after a year with Craig Counsell that things are falling into place for them to be an elite team in 2025. Am I buying something that's not real, or do you guys feel the same way?
I think what you're hearing from camp and what you're talking about, Matty, is exactly correct. I think there's multiple reasons for that too. And as we all know, you guys have been in the game a long time too. When you get a new manager and he's not totally sure what he's got when you first come over. So you're learning front office people's names and what they do, and you're learning your minor league staff and then the minor league players and your big league players. There's a lot to take on very quickly. So I really believe year two for Counts is going to be much easier, and you're seeing his fingerprints all over the roster and what he's looking for and what made him so successful in Milwaukee as a manager and really as a player too, because he was a guy who battled to stay on the big league field, but he played in some big World Series. He was always on the field in the big moments, and now you're seeing some of that with his players, and he's able to do some of that with the roster.
It's real cool. Hey, you guys mentioned, or Matt did, Kyle Tucker coming in. So he was in the American League all those years, trained in Florida. The first time you set eyes on him, getting a chance to see him move physically, what were your thoughts of watching him?
First of all, very big guy, much bigger than, when you're broadcasting a game and you're down on the field and you're standing back a little bit watching BP. All of a sudden you go out there and now I'm meeting him. You understand where the pop comes from in the bat, and big, strong, really good athlete too. I did not realize that. And you watch him run around the field, Harold. Great athlete. He's going to be a great addition to this lineup in Wrigley Field.
They put some veterans into the mix, but I want to talk to you about one of the young guys, Ron, and you were an all-star third baseman during your playing career, so you're keeping you right in your sweet spot here. Talk about Matt Shaw, what you've seen from him, and what the expectations are.
Well, he's their top prospect, and he's had a full year now to play in the minor leagues and really kind of settle into the position. The unfortunate thing for Matty is he was hurt early in camp. So he had an issue. So he's only played for about a week now here in camp. So to me, he's just now starting to get his legs underneath him with the swing and the day-to-day routine. Because spring training is tough because there's a lot going on, long days, and then you play a ball game. So I think he's just now getting his legs underneath him to really show what he can do. But the kid can hit. He's got good hands at third base. He's working on, his throwing to first base. But, that's an easy fix for a guy. I never had a cannon for an arm. But you play long toss every day, that throw will become second nature to him. Very good player, very good hitter, great barrel to ball skills.
You know, we talk a lot about Otani, Yamamoto, Sasaki, all going to be playing and participating in Japan for the Dodgers. But Imanaga is going to be starting as well. So I'm curious. His personality is amazing. The Japanese media covers him constantly, I'm sure. So what are you hearing about the reception and what it's going to be like in Japan there for him?
Well, we're hearing that it's going to be massive, and I expect it for him. I mean, he came into our league, and and he wasn't expected to be our number one starter. Justin Steele coming off, finishing third or fourth in the Cy Young the year before. And Imanaga came in with a big personality, a lot of fun, big smile, and he just dealt all year long. He had one outing where he gave up quite a few runs, one time in Wrigley Field. If he didn't have that, his ERA probably comes down half a point. But he's going to be – he'll get a massive ovation, and the people in Japan, I'm sure, are going to be extremely happy to see him back in Japan.
Hey, we're going to we want to dig on you a little bit here with your own playing career.
Yeah, man.
Because you had a great run in Minnesota. You had the 1 year in your home state as a Cub. Was that right? You went right from the Twins to the Cubs? Was that the route?
That's correct.
So you go back home. You're an Illinois guy. You had to have been excited, but at the same time, you were such a Twin. You were so branded as a Twin. Take us back to that time date stamp and what was in your head.
It was pretty bizarre. I remember being in Clearwater Beach as all this is going on, and as you go through all these negotiations and stuff like that, and first of all, when I didn't sign with the Twins, that was disappointing. I had a very good year the year before. We just played in the All-Star game, 2 years before, and I loved it there. But that's our business of our game, and the Twins were going in a different direction. They were going much younger.
Look how professional
look at you. What were you interviewing for a job at IBM at the mall or something? What was this headshot all about?
How about that, right? Look at that. Where did that fresh face go, Harold? I don't know what happened to that fresh face.
Hey, do you still have the hitting academy? You still running Swingtown?
I am not. I ended up selling that years ago. When I started moving, Matty, I moved to Minnesota, and, I was there so long. It was tough to be in Chicago. I had a lot of employees, and I sold to another guy to do it. That was one of my all-time favorite things. And one thing I'll say, I was in the minor leagues when I started it. That taught me more about hitting, teaching hitting, than anything else. It really helped my big league career.
Wow. So sure. That makes a lot. I remember the first time I did a clinic, and I was talking about, because you don't think about how you process things. And it was kind of like, oh, wow, that's what I do? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's pretty
Hey, are you on the air today, or are you guys calling the game today?
We are not. The team is going to play the game today in Sloan Park, so we've got a home game against Milwaukee. And then the team is going to fly to Japan tonight, and I am going to go to the ballpark here after I get off the air with you guys here in about an hour and head over and watch the workout in the morning, watch the game, and then I'm going to enjoy Scottsdale sunshine tonight, later today, and I may hit a golf ball or two this afternoon. You never know. That could be.
Enjoy. And I'm thinking about,
awesome.
The ramifications of Pat Hughes wearing one of those gaudy 1980s sweaters in Japan. And I think it's probably best that he stay home.
See, now I just, the sweaters just makes him, doesn't it? I mean, the Cubs even did a thing last year where they had Pat Hughes sweater day. We see him all over the ballpark. He's the best.
He's the best.
You know how that things are good. I fell into this job as a broadcaster with my hometown team. And here I'm sitting next to a Hall of Fame broadcaster. I just follow in the wake, Matty, and just make sure I don't screw things up.
It's all good, man. We love listening to you guys, too, Ron. Thanks for the visit today. Good to see you, and hopefully we can check in during the season and check you guys out.
Sounds great, Matt. Harold, thanks for having me on, guys.
Thanks, Ron. Good seeing you, man.
Tuesday's show.
Thank you.
The Cubs and Dodgers headed to Japan, and you heard Ron say it. They're gonna play the game today and then load up and get out of here. I imagine the Dodgers are on a similar schedule.
Doing the same thing,
Part of a long, distinguished history of major league players visiting Japan. Back in 1934, Babe Ruth led an AL All-Star team on a barnstorming tour. 500,000 spectators watched the American Stars, and Babe hit 13 homers in 18 games.
How cool is that?
Look at these dudes.
Wow.
That tradition would gap and then continue in the mid-50s following a World Series defeat to the Dodgers. The Yankees went on a 6-week tour.
6 weeks?
6 weeks. They went 15-0-1 on a road trip against Japanese teams. Mickey Mantle was there for the first half of it. In '74, the Mets visited Japan. Yogi Berra gifted flowers. Joe Torre hit a double. And the Mets won 3 of their 10 games against the Yomiuri Giants. In fact, they lost
7 games?
Yeah, they did.
Holy smokes.
In '74, Sadaharu O faced Hank Aaron in a home run derby, and the Hammer won.
How great is that?
What a great spectator event. I mean, an international spectacle back in '74. 2 greatest home run hitters in the world. '79, the MLB All-Stars went to Japan. Sadaharu O greeting Dave Parker, Pete Rose, Tommy Lasorda was gifted flowers. Phil Niekro struck out Sadaharu O.
Do a knuckler on Sadaharu O right there.
The fanatic was there.
Wow.
And then in '88, Harold, talk to me.
Yeah, man. It was a great trip. It was so fun. That's waiting at the airport, LAX, but we had a heck of a team, man. Dave, the thing that stood out to me was, remember Dave Henderson, but the coming out for me of Barry Larkin. There's Coney, there's Gooby.
They let Coney and Gooby on that
How about
trip?
that? There's Kirby Puckett.
I'm surprised they weren't arrested.
Benito Santiago, Paul Molitor. They used to trade their gear with us. He was wearing a Cebu Lion. There's Alan Trammell. I mean, it was awesome. But Barry Larkin stole the show. That's on the bus headed to the ballpark.
I was shocked that David Cohn and Mark Gubizo were allowed on that trip.
Look at
they
that hair, man.
Set
My stuff
international
was tightened
relations back 3 decades with some of their stuff. Then in '98, MLB All-Stars Sammy Sosa, Nomar Garciaparra, Trevor Hoffman.
Ichiro, Kurt Schilling. Oh,
Ichiro.
Schilling got him.
Hideki Matsui hit a homer against Al Leiter. I think we're going to get to that, too. The MLB All-Stars.
Home run derby. Look at Barry Bonds' best speed.
They went 6-2 in this part.
That's when Barry was like the world stage spectacle, man. Oh, my gosh.
Plesac was there on this one. You know that?
I didn't know that.
Al Leiter and Dan Plesac were there with the MLB All-Stars that year.
The cool thing is nobody knew over here who Matsui was.
This was in '02 when Barry Bonds and Hideki Matsui had a home run derby similar to what Aaron and O did many years earlier. What a great rip of video, great information here.
Then Ichiro went back in 2019. This is it for him. It's kind of his retirement tour. He hung on to go back to play in Japan when the Mariners went back.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. He's still in uniform working out to this day.
Phenomenal video rip. And again, great detail by our research team and our production team. That was a lot of fun. We're going to take a break.
Cool.
When we come back, again, the Braves and Reds are the 2 teams in focus tonight on the 30.
大谷翔平とドジャース、2025年に向けた新たな挑戦。歴史的な5-0クラブの達成。史上初の3度目の満票 MVP。そしてワールドシリーズ制覇。大谷翔平の2024年は、まさに夢のようなシーズンだった。しかし、彼とドジャースの旅はまだ終わっていない。むしろ、ここからが本当の戦いの始まりだ。スプリングトレーニングでは、大谷がバッティング練習を再開し、復帰に向けて順調な歩みを見せている。肩の違和感はまだあるものの、ほぼ思い描いた状態に近づいている。と語る彼の表情には、自信と決意が感じられた。ドジャースの一員として、また新たなシーズンに挑む大谷の姿を見るのが今から楽しみでならない。さらに、今シーズンからは佐々木朗まれという新たな才能が加わった。彼の初ブルペンには多くのメディアが集まり、その注目度の高さを証明した。初日は、思うように投げられなかった。としながらも、分厚い才能とメジャーへの適応力の高さを見せつけた佐々木。ドジャースのピッチングコーチ陣、そして大谷、山本といった日本人エースたちのサポートを受けながら、彼がどのように成長していくのか、期待が高まるばかりだ。そしてブレイク、スネルも新たにドジャースに加わり、ワールドシリーズ連覇を狙うチームにさらなる厚みをもたらす。私は殿堂入りを狙っている。と語るスネルの野心と、クレイトン、カーショーのそばで学びたいという姿勢は、 まさに本気度マックス。彼がドジャースのユニフォームを着てマウンドに立つ日が待ち遠しい。もちろん昨年のワールドシリーズでチームを支えた貴兄ヘルナンデスやブレイクと来年も再びチームに合流し、2025年のドジャースはさらに盤石な体制に。彼らの経験と勝者のメンタリティがチーム全体の士気をさらに高めてくれることは間違いない。去年の歓喜を今年も大谷翔平が語ったように、昨シーズンの成功はすでに過去のもの、次のシーズンに向けて準備をすることが大切だと。彼とドジャースの戦いはまだまだ続く。2025年もこのチームがどんな奇跡を生み出すのか目が離せない。そしてあなたもこの歴史的瞬間を一緒に目撃しませんか。ドジャースのシーズンを追いかけ、大谷翔平や佐々木朗までスネル、そして全選手たちの活躍を見届けよう。このチャンネルをフォローして最新情報をお見逃しなく。あなたのコメントも大歓迎。大谷翔平やドジャースに期待すること、見たい試合、そして応援メッセージをぜひコメント欄に残してください。2025年シーズン、さあ行こう。